Hey guys, welcome back to Quick Tips. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up your workspace in Adobe Illustrator to help speed up your workflow and help you be more consistent. So let's talk about that for a second. In my opinion, consistency is key. It's going to help you move faster, train your muscle memory, especially if you're working across multiple computers. Setting up your workspace is vital. So let's talk about toolbar customization for a second. We'll start over here on the left side. Before we jump into it, I just want to recommend that whenever possible, you don't want to use your keyboard or your toolbar, just because going back and forth requires a lot of time. It adds up really quickly, especially if you're trying to like search for, a specific icon or it's in a drop down. So I'd highly recommend learning the keyboard shortcuts. I've got a whole other video on that, so that you can move around easily and without having to focus so much on, what the different elements are within your toolbar. It's more of you just need to know what tools you use. If you want to assign something that doesn't already have a keyboard shortcut to it, you just go to Edit and Keyboard Shortcuts, and you can assign things. And that's helpful, especially if you've removed some of these tools that you don't use as much. When you click this little menu down here, it allows you to edit what's in your toolbar to really clean things up, make it easier on you. And let's say you removed something that has a keyboard shortcut associated with it. Like for example, I've taken out the magic wand and the lasso because to me, those are more like Photoshop centric things. I learned Illustrator first, so it doesn't make as much sense to me logically, but I know that there are people that's their bread and butter. So no offense to them. But let's say I don't use that. I can assign the keyboard shortcut of Y to something else that I use more consistently within my toolbar. So that's the toolbar customization. If you need to set up shortcuts, you can do so by Edit and Keyboard Shortcuts. And then try and learn your keyboard shortcuts so you don't have to worry so much about going over back and forth here. But if you do, I'd take off the things you don't use. So it does require a little bit of upfront to figure out what tools you use more often. And the same goes for the panels actually. I've kind of classified and organized my panels by what I'm working on. So here, this is kind of all document type things. Here we have our color and our kind of modifiers. Here are object strokes, that sort of thing. And then I've got my type down here. What this does is it just helps me be consistent as to I know where things are in the panels. Right out of the box, Illustrator has a lot of different workspaces that they've already chosen. I highly recommend customizing it so that you are consistent. Everything's in the same place, especially if you're working in multiple computers. It helps with that sense. So that being said, once you've kind of figured out what you like, some of these have options that you can choose. So for example, stroke, you can hit the hamburger menu, hide options, show options. Personally, to me, just having the weight is not enough. But sometimes you may not want all of the stuff. So just go through, try all the different things, see what you like, organize it in the way that makes the most sense for you. If you want to add a panel to be in between, you can do that. Or if you just want to stack it, that's totally cool like that too. Some people like to have their panels out. I personally would not recommend that just because it gets in the way of your artwork. So I'd highly recommend trying to keep everything off to the side there. There's a few different ways. There's also this version it's similar to how InDesign is generally set up out of the box. So you can handle it that way too. It's just all personal preference, what works best. And that's what I'm all in for is whatever works best for you. That's going to help speed up your workflow. Once you kind of set up the way you like it, you just go up to the top right here and you just hit New Workspace. You can type in whatever you want. That's now the custom name for that workspace. It's going to be used consistently. If you've made edits and you want to, save over the workspace, all you need to do is just type in the same name again. It says name already exists, and you click OK, and that kind of freeze frames the panels and toolbar as they are now, so that next time you jump in and you select this workspace, it will bring it back to this freeze frame as it is now. Anyway, that's it for workspace setup. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, but that's your quick tip for the day.